Hello and welcome. Today we will be starting with the Power BI. This will be the first lecture in a journey to understand how to Power BI. In this lecture, we will be understanding how to install and download the Power BI, understanding the interface, options and settings in Power BI, how you can connect to different types of data sources, how to upload a sample data, how to understand that data, what are the basic data types in the Power BI. Now we'll also try to build some charts and we'll learn about the visual interactions. So let's get started. To install a Power BI, go to the your browser, go to the google.com, search here Power BI desktop download. You will be forwarded to this website where you can go and click on this link, which is microsoft.com US download details. Scroll down. Here you can see the download option, and here is the versions. So Power BI desktop setup.exe and that 64exe. Most of the laptops have 64-bit processor, so you can go with this. Now click on download. Here, according to your configuration of your laptop, please select one of the two options. Click here, download. You can see download has been started. Once the download is complete, install the application. As I have already installed, I will cancel this download. After installation, the shortcut for the Power BI will be created on desktop. Just launch, just click on it. When you first open the Power BI, something like this window will pop up. Maybe not as same as this, but something like this will pop up. You just have to minimize that, ignore that. Now I have already used Power BI, so there are some reports already here which Power BI is suggesting. But let's just minimize this. Okay. After opening the Power BI desktop, you will be shown something like this. The interface will be top, there is a ribbon. On the right hand side, there are panes called data, visualization, filter. On the left hand side, you will be seeing the three views: report view, data view, and modeling. Okay, I will just minimize this. So today we will be understanding everything about the interface, little bit about data, what you can do in the Power BI, what visualizations you can build. So on top, you can see there are different types of sections: home, insert, modeling, view, optimize, help, and external tools. Now, some of you may don't have this thing, external tools. You just don't need it. It is for the development purpose. So you can ignore it. Now, let's go to the home. First, we will be understanding the interface. So here, this is the report view. Report view means where you will be building your report, means where you will be building your visualizations. Second is the data view. If you click on the data view, you will be forwarded to here. Here you can see, now we don't have any data in our application, so it is empty, but Excel like interface will be opened here. And the third view is the model view. We will understand about the model view in our further lectures. Let's click on the report view again. So in the left hand side, note that there are three views: report view, which will be used for the building report, building visualization. Second, data view, where you can see your data, like a physical view of your data, like Excel format. And third is the model view, where you will be building the relationship between the tables. On the right hand side, you can see there is a data view. What this means is that once you load the data, here your tables will be shown. All the columns in that data will be shown. Second pane is the visualization pane. This pane has two things. One is the build visualization and second, format your report page. Now, there are different visualizations available in the Power BI. By default, there are 41 visualizations, and if you click here, get more visuals. There are advanced visuals also, or called as custom visuals. Those are more than I think 400 or something like that. So now in the format view, you can format your page. Now we don't have any visualizations. So by default, it is showing the format the page. So you can format the page, like you can change the size of the page, change the background, change the color, all things like that. Now the third thing you can see, maybe you have this pane or may not, but we'll understand about this pane later on. Now let's go to the top of the ribbon. First section is home, and in the home there is this first thing called as get data. So it is, if you click on this arrow drop down, some mostly used database will be shown in the Power BI. So like Excel, Power BI dataset, data flows, SQL Server, CSV, web, and something like that. So this is what these are just the few data sources. In Power BI, you can connect to more than 185 plus data sources. That's why Power BI is the most popular tool in the world currently, because it can be used in the different or numerous organizations, which is not the case with the Tableau. Like in Tableau, you can only connect with the 80 plus data sources. So this is one of the advantage in Power BI. Now you can you have I think you have understood about little bit of the interface. Now what we need to understand more in-depth knowledge of Power BI is to load the data. After we have load the data, then we can build visuals, and then we can understand more things about the Power BI. So after opening, you can see there are four shortcuts. First is saying import Excel, second is saying import from SQL Server, paste blank data, and fourth is saying try a sample data. So today we will be understanding how to build the visuals on try sample data. Now either you can click here, or you can go here, go to the more, and here let's just understand first what are the different types of data sources you can connect. Now first pane is showing Excel workbook, text CSV, PDF format, SQL Server database, MySQL database, SAP, Azure, Google, Google BigQuery, Google Analytics, data warehouse, Azure storage, many more things. Just scroll and just read some of the data sources. You don't have to click on any of them. You just see what are the different types of data sources in the Power BI you can connect. Now let's just minimize. Click on the try sample data to load the data. Now here it is showing experiment on your own. To start creating visuals on your own, load a sample data. So click on the load sample data. After this, this navigator plane will be opening. So here you can see there are two things written. One is the financial and one is the sheet one. So let's click on here, not on the checkbox. I'm just clicking on the financial. After clicking, you can see there is a preview of your data. So here you can see, check the columns and all that. Now this is the table, and second is the sheet. That there is no such a difference. It is just a table format, and in that Excel, this is the sheet one. So we will be working on the sheet one. Now you may ask the question, why sheet? It is because your sheet may have more information, even after some blanks, and I need all that information, all that data to work on. That entire data we will be working. Because of that, we will be loading the sheet one. Now you can click on this checkbox. Once you click, you can see these options are now activated. First option is the load, and second is transform data. Load data means the data will directly load to the Power BI desktop. And if you click on transform data, you will be forwarded to the Power Query, where you can clean your data. Now for this session, we will be directly loading it. So click on load. Now you have just learned how to load the Excel data in the Power BI. So before working on data, let's just do the few settings. As you have, from my understanding, you're starting with the Power BI desktop, you have not used it, so there are few settings required. So just click on the files option, go to the options and settings, go to the options. Now go to the security. Here some options may be off for you, like map and field visuals for ArcGIS for Power BI, custom visuals for Power BI. If they are unactivated, please activate them and go to the preview features. After this, you can see lot of options for you may be off. You can turn on all the options except the Spanish language for question answer. So you can turn on all the options except the Spanish language. After doing this, you have to click OK. After this, if some of you may not have optimized tab before this setting, now if you restart your Power BI, just close it and restart it, this pane will be there available. Okay, now you have load the sample data. So first thing you do when you load the data, to understand the data. So let's just go to the data view to understand it. Once you go to the data view, the data you have loaded will be shown here. So this is nothing but a data, which the same format if you have used Excel, you can see. Now, after going to this view, you can see this table, the table tools have been activated. There are different operations I can perform in the table, like I can create a new column or new table itself. We'll understand this in the different sessions. Let's just understand what is the interface here. Here, there is some kind of information that sheet 1 has a 700 rows. So your data is 700 rows. If I click on this column country, see, you can see that column tools have been activated now. And here all the columns are showing from this sheet. This column has 700 rows obviously, and there are 5 distinct values. So whenever you understand data, you can use the filters option. That is, you can click on this drop down, and here you can see there are different types of country: Canada, Germany, France, Mexico, United States of America. And out of them, 5 are distinct countries. So there are 700 rows, but they are repeating. Like this, you can understand different columns. If I click on this segment, I will be seeing all the segments which are available in my data. So first thing what you do is understand the data, what has given to you. So you can see there are segments which government, channel, partners, mid-market, small business. There are different countries, there are different products. What are the discount bands? Low, high, none. Then there are units sold, price, sale price, discount, sales, profit, date of the transaction, maybe a month number, month name. If you click on the year option, you can see there are 2 years, means what we have is the data for 2 years, 2013 and 14. Now if I want to see for only 14, I will just untick the 2013, click on OK. Now I will be shown the data of 2014. Now if I click on a month name, I can see that for month it is the data from April till December. Okay. Okay. Now like that you can understand your data. Now let's go to the report view again. On the right hand side, that sheet 1 has opened, which we have loaded. If you hover over it, it will show the name of the your table you have loaded. It is sheet 1. Storage mode, like how you have loaded it. You have imported it basically. So it is showing import. And the data refreshed means at the time you have refreshed the file. So it is showing date and time. Now, if you click on this arrow, the sheet will open all the columns in it. Now you can see there is sales, COGS, country, date, discount band, and all this. Now you must notice that before sales there is some kind of symbol, before date there is some kind of symbol, before country or discount band there is no symbol. So what is this? Let's understand. So this symbol represents what type of data it is. So in Power BI, there are broadly three types of data. One is number, second is date, and third is a text data type. So date means, like, you can hover over here. This is date, and it is showing the symbol of calendar. So it is the type of date data type. Here sales are obviously numbers, so it is showing the sigma sign, that is the summation sign. So it is the type of a number. Data type of this column will be number. It can be decimal, it can be whole number, anything, but it is a number. And before country, obviously country name will be textual, so it has showing blank. That means it is the text data type. Now, if you see date, it also has one more hierarchy. If you click here, you can see there is one option called data hierarchy. I will just expand this. You can see if you click here, there is a one more option, data hierarchy, and in that there is a bifurcation like year, quarter, month, and day. So by default, Power BI has created these things for you. So this is one of the feature of Power BI. Now let's go to the data view again. Here you can see there are different columns, we have understood the data. Suppose I want to change the name of this sheet. So what I can do, I can double click here on this sheet one, and I can rename it. Rename as sample data. Click enter. So your sheet name can be changed from here. Now let's go to the report view. In the report view, you can see at the bottom there is a page one which has opened, and on the right side of that there is a plus option where you can add a page. If you click, the page 2 will be opened. Now suppose I want to rename this page. What I can do, I can double click here, rename it such as chart 1. Okay, from here I can delete the page also if I click on this arrow, or if I want the more options, I can right click here. So there are different options: duplicate the page, rename the page, delete the page, or hide the page. Now we will understand what are these features in our further lectures. For now, I will just delete this page. So it comes a pop-up. Power BI asks you if you are you sure about this. Click on delete. Okay. Now, as we have understood, there are three different. Let's summarize till now what we have understood. The interface of Power BI can be divided broadly into three types, three sections. On the left hand side, there are three views: report view for building report, data view for seeing physical data, and model view for building relationship between tables. On top, there is a ribbon where are different options are available to get the data, to insert the various types of shapes and buttons, modeling view, then optimize, and many other options. We will understand these options one by one as we move on to our this course. On the right hand side, there are panes open. One is data pane, second is visualization pane, and third is the filter pane. So this data pane shows the column where all our data's columns are shown with the symbols with their data types. On second pane, there is a visualization where we can build different types of visualization. So like all these things till now we have understood. Then the second thing we understood, that the first thing you do after loading the data is to understand it by going into data view, by using the filter options and all that. Now after that we understood how you can rename the page, how you can rename your sheet also. So like this you can do various things in the Power BI. So now let's just try to build a visualization. What I will do, I will scroll here and I will directly drag profit to this page. Profit to this page. So let's just drag it here. You can see the Power BI has automatically generated a bar chart for me. If I open the visual, you can see from here, this chart has been highlighted, which means this custard column chart has been created automatically by Power BI. So whenever you drag a number field, the Power BI will automatically create a column or bar chart. Now if I want, now let's just drop a product, which is, now we have dropped a one number field. Now let's drop a product field, which is a text data type. I will pick from here and drag into this visual. You can see that automatically Power BI has divided my profit into the types of products. So I can increase the size by dragging this. You can see it is showing sum of profit by product. So profit by product. So this is how Power BI, without clicking here, it has automatically generated a visual for you. Now, if I click on the visual, see, you have in the visualization pane, there are three options now. One is the build visual, second is the format visual, and third is the further analyze your visual. So we will understand this option again in our further lectures. Now let's click on add to data visuals. We have already added data. So clustered column chart has different field like the x-axis, the y-axis, the legends, the tooltips, and all those things. Now let's understand what other things are there in the Power BI. Now if I can just place it here by clicking on it, or you can double click it and drag here and there. Now you can see whenever I take it to the center, there is a one line up here. This red dotted line is the bifurcation of the page, means it divides the data, your page, in the two sections. So I will just click here and see. Now there are two lines. These two red lines divide your page in the four sections. So these are just guidelines to you, that how this is how you can place your visual correctly. These are the guider lines. They guide you how to place your visuals. Now I will click on the page. Once I click on the page, you can see third option has been disabled, and here the option of formatting your page has been opened. So now we are on the page. That's why the formatting of the pane can be done. If you click on the visual, the formatting of the visual will be open. So you can format your visual from here. Now let's just try to understand what other things can be provided from the visualization. If you hover over this bar chart, there is a one tooltip called as product. So what it is showing is that product passio is showing sum of profit. If you go to the VTT, it will show product VTT and sum of the profit. So by default, Power BI gives the tooltip, which will be showing your dimension and the value in it. Now let's click on the page again. In the now in our data we have country. Now country, you know, it is a geolocation type data. So what I will do now, I will just pick up the country and drag on this page. Pick up the country and drag on this page. You can see Power BI automatically has picked it as a geolocation and provided me with the map. So map visualization has automatically been created. So you can just, by moving your mouse pad, you can zoom in and zoom out. So now if I want to understand by geolocation how much was the sales, what I can do, I can pick the sales and drag in this map. Pick the sales and drag in this map. So you can see there are big bubbles have appeared on the map. So if I hover over this bubble, you can see the country is United States and the sum of sales for it is 25029,830. So again, this is one of the feature of Power BI, which automatically will understand the data type of column and will build a visual for you. I hope you have understood all the things in this session. Let's just revise what we have understood. First, we have started with the interface. Again, on left hand side, report view, data view, model view. On the right hand side, there are panes, data pane which will show data in the columns. Beside that, there is a visualization pair where from which you can drag a different visual or use it for formatting purpose. On top, there are ribbons. First, we understood how you can get the data. Second is insert modeling and different things. We will understand them later. Then we understood how to analyze the data before building any visuals. What are the things? What are the dimensions? What are the how many years of data we have received and all those things. Then we also understood how you can rename the page, how you can rename your data, and how you can build a visual by drag and drop. We also understood about what are the data types in the Power BI. These are numbers, textual, and date data type. So these are the things we have covered in this session. Now, what you can do is try to play with this data, try to build different kinds of visualization, try different types of calculation. Maybe you can use sales instead of profit. You can use what are the types of product. Now we have used product. You can use a country wise sales. You can see country wise how many units sold. You can see in which year how many gross sales were performed, all that. You can also see that by month. So you can just play around, do whatever you want in this data. After this, it will be very good practice for you to learn and to get used to the interface of Power BI. So today's session, it was all. Thank you so much.